HuffPost Live has been following the story of a baby born with HIV who appears to have been cured. Scientists made the announcement on Sunday, reporting the child from Mississippi, who's now 2.5 years old, has been off medication for about a year now with no signs of infection.
What it is giving a baby, essentially at birth, the standard treatment for HIV infection, but at a very unique time that really is not generally done at all prior to this. And the situation was as follows. In an unusual circumstance of a mother, a pregnant woman, who had no antenatal, prenatal care at all, on no treatment, which is unusual in this country, presented to an emergency room and delivered a baby. And then the pediatricians realized that the baby was at such a high risk that what they did is, instead of giving the baby a less rigorous, less aggressive treatment, which is called prophylaxis, they gave the baby the full component of treatment, assuming that the baby was infected, even though at the time they didn't have absolute proof that the baby was infected, but they knew the baby was at high risk. And by doing that, by aggressively treating the baby within the first 30 hours of birth, it turned out that the baby was infected. So they made a good call by instituting the therapy before they even had definitive proof that the baby was infected. They treated the baby for 18 months, and then for reasons that are still unclear, the mother dropped out of the healthcare system and did not treat the baby for several months and then came back in. So the mother discontinued the therapy on the baby. And when the baby came back to the clinic with the mother, the physicians were expecting the baby would be dreadfully ill because she was HIV infected. It turned out that despite being off therapy for many months, the baby was quite well, and there was no evidence whatsoever of a virus in the baby that was replicating. There were some fragments there, but nothing to indicate that the virus was viable anymore, which essentially constitutes what they call a functional cure. So it really was the timing of the treatment and the aggressiveness of the treatment, as opposed to any of the things that you've been hearing about, like stem cell transplants and things like this. This was just classic aggressive treatment. The critical issue is preventing the infection in the first place. And as was just mentioned, we know from treatment as prevention that when you put people on therapy and get their viral load to below detectable level, you dramatically diminish by greater than 95% the likelihood that they will transmit that infection to other people.